Welcome. You're right where you belong. Eugenia and I have been friends for 28 years, and while life phases and stages, racking up titles and all the etceteras in life keep us busy, we are intentional about keeping each other centered and committed, and to picking up right where we left off. After all, it's our life support.
Welcome back to Life Support. Today, we're diving into our real stories, bold moves, and the mindset shifts behind entrepreneurship. We're talking about something every business owner needs, but doesn't always get credit for: courage. Starting and running a business isn't just about strategies, spreadsheets, or social media. It's about stepping into the unknown, risking failure, and betting on yourself, sometimes when no one else will. Whether you're launching your first product or taking your side hustle full time, the decision to be your own boss takes more than skill. It takes guts. What does courage look like in business? And how do you keep showing up when fear, doubt, and uncertainty try to steal the mic? Let's get into it. Well, before we get into it, Alexis, how has your week been?
It's been a week. It's been a week.
Okay.
It's a heavy travel week, but I did make it to the beginning of the week, and the kids are in Vacation Bible School, VBS,
Okay.
and two of them are serving, and one of them is attending. It has been great. I have enjoyed hearing their stories when they come home. My son is serving in the special needs area,
Okay.
and it is really giving him some brownie points as far as this whole fruits of the spirit thing.
Mhm.
Um, he was a buddy for a child that was probably, everyone else was probably a 2, and he was like a 10. And
Okay.
Joshua was like, what am I going to do? Like, he is chewing blocks. He is, just cutting up.
Yeah.
And so I was just telling him, that God clearly has something that he wants you to learn from this situation. And if anything, it's going to stretch your patience. And so, we've been praying every day, and I'm just like, Lord, bless Joshua, just help him to get it together. So it's been good. Yeah, Bailey, she's teaching kids, and every day she understands my struggle because she just wants to
Right.
come home and go to sleep. And she's like, it's enough. It's enough. I am overstimulated. I said, really? Overstimulated. So it's been good watching them, take on task. We have been definitely trying to get as much froyo and just really trying to soak up summer in the midst of the different events that are happening that we're trying to attend and travel. How about you?
Yeah, my week, I've been blessed. That's what I'm gonna say, because
Okay.
my husband, he was able to come home and spend some time with us. So that is always nice. And then also my 3-year-old, he had his first swimming lesson, and he actually did very, very well. The instructor was impressed. He's like, usually, when I first get them, they're hollering, screaming, crying. I got to put earplugs in, all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
He's like, but he actually did really well. So I was excited about that. He's excited to go back, which is a plus,
Nice.
because usually it's like, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to do, I don't like it, type thing. But
Yes.
he's like, I'm going to do it some more. I was like, what? Okay. So might have me a little swimmer. Okay. Hopefully.
Yes. That is
Yeah. So,
awesome.
but yeah, other than that, just, the same old, same old. My 7-year-old Tatum, he'll be starting a summer program soon,
Nice.
but it's been a struggle to find something for my teenager, to find something for him to do this summer. We don't have a church home here or anything yet. And just, I guess the area that we live in isn't really, they don't have as many programs and things like that like we're used to in Texas. So it's been a struggle trying to find something for him. So I've just been reaching out to other moms and trying to do research on my own to find
Yeah,
something because
sure.
I definitely don't want him up in this house gaming all day. We're not having that. So,
It
you
makes you want to
know,
throw that game system up against the
okay.
wall, right?
Yeah, for real.
Whew.
So, yeah, we're not doing that.
No.
Yeah, back to what we're discussing today. Alexis,
Yes.
why have you chosen to bet on yourself?
I've chosen to bet on myself because I can't shake it. I feel like everything that I am doing and building up to is my purpose and why God has me here. Definitely feel like down to my core, helping others, finding ways to strategically do life matters.
Mm-hmm.
Creating beautiful events matters because life is so short and it's just so important to savor every moment, whether it is maximizing your life or, creating experiences in your life. So for me, I just felt like I have the bandwidth. I have just divine ideas that I feel like maybe not everyone has to execute it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been great. I've been able to carry, you know, this same, fortitude corporately. So it just kind of translated into, wanting to do it for myself and really having control over, my goals and my destiny and really building something that can not just reward me, but also reward my children in the future.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
Um, for me, I think it's more of just having a unique vision. Um, I feel like I'm a very like creative person, and so for our boutique, it's more so of having that vision, but we're not just selling clothes. It's like we're sharing like a point of view, an aesthetic, a vibe, bringing nostalgia, especially for our millennials. You know what I mean? And then also, one thing that my sister and I want is that we want freedom. Working for someone else, it limits hours, it limits income, it limits creativity, that type of thing. So, owning our own boutique, we can set our own schedule and, do what we love and grow and learn from that, even though it's scary.
Absolutely.
Um, and then also, it's like we see the bigger picture. We know that every like successful brand starts small, but just betting on ourselves means that we believe the boutique could be a foundation for something bigger. Let's say the boutique doesn't work out, God forbid, but it doesn't work out, but it'll lead us to something, bigger. There's always growth and learning and evolving
Hmm.
that we're doing through the process, which is so beneficial. So, not only for the boutique, but for our everyday lives.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, I feel like people definitely are fixated and see the end results, but they don't understand the inner battles and why this topic matters, why it is really betting on yourself and choosing yourself. Mental
Mm-hmm.
resilience is just as important as strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the first hurdle that definitely any business owner has to get over and has to do is really just kind of taking that leap of faith. And it's like, when do you say, okay, I got to go all in? I'm putting all my chips in. There's a lot that goes into it. What does courage mean in the context of entrepreneurship?
I would say, in the context of entrepreneurship, courage means just showing up, taking risks, and building something, even when the outcome is uncertain, especially when no one else sees the vision but you. So it's more so choosing faith over fear. Every decision, whether that's pricing, launching, investing in inventory, involves risk. So courage is saying, I don't know what will happen, but I believe in what I'm building.
Mm, that's good. People see the end result, not the inner battles, and that's why this topic matters. Mental resilience is just as important as strategy. Taking the leap of faith, quitting that stable job, or investing your personal finances or savings, it can be scary. At the same time, it can be freeing,
Mm-hmm.
but it is a must either way it goes. I know for me, I decided to start doing events part time. I was doing it on a corporate scale, and I would take on additional events at the request of clients wanting me to do personal parties and venues requesting events and parties there. And it was working out. Ultimately, times started to clash. And as I moved on through, I ended up with three. I was pregnant with my third child. And so it was kind of a fork in the road. Like, are you going to, go all in 100%? Because you can't give 100, to your company and 100 to what you feel your purpose is.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you going to do? So that's when I decided to just go all in and decided to begin the full-time journey. There is a difference between being ready and willing. I definitely wasn't ready, but I was 110% willing because I really believe in what I'm here to do. And I really believe that that freedom is going to allot so much for me as well as the future for my children.
Right.
I would say in that battling self doubt and imposter syndrome, who do you think you are? How do you just wake up and you're like, oh, I'm just going to start a business?
Yeah.
As opposed to working for someone else. That takes a lot of cojones to say, I am going to do this.
Right.
And a lot of people look at the title and they just stop there, but there's so much work that goes into it. You deal with a lot of judgment and lack of support from others. I have
Yes.
definitely experienced that.
Yes. The
And
people
then,
that you thought that were going to be there
oh
for you,
my
most of the
goodness.
time are not. Most of the
No,
time,
they are not. No, they are not.
you get more support from the strangers.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
And it's really tools and mindsets for pushing past the fear and the failure that are necessary for you to keep going when you don't see that support and you don't, have that positive feedback or encouragement. I'm definitely a pusher. And so I thought me, giving it 100, I'm definitely going to receive, push and encouragement. And that just was not what happened. When you're the boss and when you decide that you are going to start a business, you literally have to figure out everything from scratch.
Yes.
Business is rarely a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
There's flops, there's pivots, there's, learning moments. I know as soon as I decided to go full time with Posh Shindigs, pandemic happened.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was in the house for 2 years, literally.
Yeah.
How conveniently perfect.
Yeah.
And so then everyone eventually came from up under the cave and came out of hiding. But then everyone started paying attention to what they're spending their money on. Wanted to nickel and dime. Well, can I DIY? Can I get balloons a la carte?
Yeah.
Or whatever it may be. Just piecemealing it together and just it's just a mess. So I really began to notice like, man, I cannot afford to sacrifice my brand just to try to accommodate certain budgets.
Right.
So, and then people were getting on my nerves. So then I was like, I'm going to have to convert this into something a little more that I can stretch myself further, which
Mm-hmm.
then is where the birth of consulting, came in because I noticed a lot of clients wanted to do many things themselves, but just didn't
Mhm.
have a blueprint and didn't have methods and ideas to be able to bring it to fruition. So that's where I came in. And that ran circles around the physical labor, and I'm able to stretch myself further. And it has truly, truly been a blessing. Sometimes having those setbacks and having to pivot is where your creativity grows, the most.
Yes.
Courage isn't just starting, it's staying when things go sideways,
Right.
and really in that you're building grit. You learn more from failure. I posted something the other day about that, but you learn more from failure.
Definitely.
Success shows you that it's possible, but failure teaches you everything else,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
know?
Entrepreneurship is definitely a leadership role, right? You're the leader, you're the boss. And with that, you need to have vulnerability and authenticity. You have to have daily courage. So, having tough conversations with clients, staff, partners, making bold decisions when the outcome is unclear, showing up consistently even when your motivation is low. That's a tough one, being an entrepreneur. Oof. So,
Yes.
yeah. Um, Celebrating small wins and being courageous and having inspiring moments. So, do you have an inspiring story from a business owner in your genre?
I would say my genre is all over the place. So yes, I do.
Oh,
I look at and I'm not trying to make a croissant, but I love Martha Stewart. I love Oprah. I
yeah,
love Sarah Blakely. Let me tell you why. They have been able to make many different ventures and businesses thrive from one being. They didn't put a label on themselves, they explored all their options, and it still came full circle. I'm sure they've received a lot of pushback. Oh, no, you don't need to do sheets and home goods. And, what are we doing that for?
right,
They have been able to amass several sectors of their empire. And that is so inspiring to me because I really want to explore all of the avenues and have them come full circle. So for
right.
me, those are um, business owners who have really just inspired me. I would name a couple more, but I feel like one right now is a little controversial, but still
Okay,
amazing
okay,
businessman.
okay. I'm familiar with Martha Stewart's journey, and she definitely is inspiring. She inspires me as well, even though that's a completely different avenue. But like you said, she was able to start with something and just make multiple ventures work for her. So,
I love the underdog. I love those that start from nothing because I'm starting from nothing,
right.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and create and make and build a beautiful businesses, like a life, it's inspiring for
Right.
sure.
I actually watched the new Barbara Walters biography.
She's another.
And yes, she was amazing and she's definitely inspiring. She, was a woman in a time where, women having careers, number one, was looked down upon. And she was a woman in a male dominated, career. And she just stuck it out and made it happen. And it's really inspiring. Have you seen it?
Yes, I've seen it.
Okay, okay, yeah, because I know it's
Yes.
very new.
Favorite type of TV to watch. I love watching biographies and
Yes.
that and true crime stories, but
Oh,
we'll move
okay.
on.
Okay, we're here. We're here. I love a good true
Yeah.
crime story.
Yeah.
Yes. And biographies. Yes. Did you see the Martha Stewart
Yes.
one?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Those were amazing.
Yeah.
Recognizing progress and not just profit is very, very important because there'll be a time, especially when you're first starting out, that you may not make much of a profit, if any. But if you could recognize your growth in the process that, you've been going through, and just also being appreciative of the failures, that's going to take you far.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because the numbers, they're gonna change. Some days you'll have high, some days you'll have lows. So you just have to mainly focus on recognizing the progress.
Yes. Courage is truly practice and not a one-time act. You truly have to choose each day.
You absolutely do. It's the courage to start before you're ready. The courage to even fail in front of others. The courage to keep showing up even when no one is clapping yet. Every business we admire was built by someone who faced fear and kept going anyway. So keep going, keep building, and most importantly, keep choosing courage over comfort in your business journey. Be sure to share this episode with friends in the hustle, and we'll chat next time. Bye.
If this episode inspired you, we'd love to hear your biggest takeaway. Slide into our DMs on Instagram at @thelifesupport_.
If you haven't yet, make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a Power Hour pep talk. And leave a comment. It helps other mamas find us and transforms one mom's hustle into all of our community boosts.